See, see, we are doing it. We are doing it. And they are doing about it. And they are doing about us. That are causing. They are so fundamental that we don't even talk about. They are so fundamental that we don't talk about them. So those two things are the number that we are and the number that we represented by our per capita consumption. And even these two are fundamental. Those two things are the number that we are, the number that we are, and the number that are represented by our per capita consumption. And even these two are fundamental, fundamental one. Two fundamental two things number that we have. Uh, the inbuilt human tendency to take consumption as an indicator, the inbuilt human tendency to take consumption as an indicator of the fulfillment or success of one's life. That's the reason we multiply, and that's the reason we want to consume more and more. And climate change is hardly anything but a function of our numbers on this planet. And climate change is hardly anything but a function of our number on this planet, our population, and the per capita consumption by each person. Our population and the per capita consumption, each per capita consumption by each person of our species, unfortunately, irrespective of the variation in culture, thought, thought, religion, ethnicity, and that we have all across the world about one thing, and all that we have across the world about one thing. We all are fully in agreement, and that it that we all need to have good time by consuming more and more. Be it the Indian, the Chinese, the American, the African, anybody, we all want to have a happy life and about a happy life. The thing is consumption. Consume more and let there be more people who consume more. So the slogan really is more to consume more to consume more. Nobody seems to want to address, and nobody seems to want to address that because that is just too explosive an issue, probably especially in a democratic setup, and nobody seems to want to address that because that is just too explosive an issue, probably especially in a democratic setup. Fundamental thing is we are just too many, and if we remain as many as we are, if we remain as many as we are, then I don't want to sign, then I don't want to sound nihilist or something. But I don't really see unless, but I don't really see hope unless we address that one thing equally. If we can address that one thing, especially to youngster, then obviously there is a lot of hope and great possibility, and in that possibility, when that possibility will then not relate only to the climate change, but to everything that we do as human beings. We will be able to lead richer, deeper, more meaningful life, more loving life. lives of compassion, compassion, lives of less strife, lives of less strife, and live that has have a certain fulfillment, and live that have a certain fulfillment. So that's my single portion in a nutshell. Obviously, we will be going into the nuance of everything, but I thought it would be better to just put everything on the table right away. Mm. See, we are doing it. We are doing it. And there are two things about us that are causing it. Causing it. That are causing it. They are so fundamental that we don't even talk about. So fundamental, so fundamental that we don't even talk about. Those two things are the number that we are. Those two things are the number that we are and the number that are represented. Those things are the number that we are and the numbers that are represented by our per capita, by our by our per capita consumption, by our and even these two are fundamentally one. The inbuilt human tendency probably to take consumption as an indicator, consumption as an indicator of the fulfillment or success of one life, of the fulfillment or success of one's life. One's life. That's the reason we multiply. That's the reason we multiply. Then build human tendency to consumption as an indicator of the fulfillment or success of one's life. That's the reason we multiply. That's the reason we multiply, and that's the reason we want to consume more and more. And climate change is hardly anything, hardly anything but a function, hardly anything but a function of our number, function of our numbers on this planet, or population, and the per capita consumption by each person of our species. Unfortunately, irrespective, irrespective of the variation in culture, irrespective of variations, variations in culture, thought, religion, culture, Sanskriti, thought, vichar, religion, thought. and ethnicity, all that we across the world, all that we across the world, all that we across the world, all that we across the world about one thing, all that we across the world about one thing. We are fully in agreement. We are fully in agreement. Fully in agreement, and that is and that is that we and that is that all we all need to have a good time by consuming more and more. Consumption, consume more and more. Be it the Indian, the Chinese, the American, the African, anybody, we all want to have a happy life. And about a happy life, the thing is that the consumption. Consume more and let there be more people. And let there more people who let there more people. Let there be let there be more people who can consume. Let there be more people who can consume more. So the slogan really is more to consume more. And anybody and nobody seems nobody seems nobody seems to want to address that, because that is just too explosive, and explosive an issue probably, especially in a democratic state setup. Democratic setup. The fundamental thing is we are just too many. Fundamental thing is we are just too many, and if we if we remain as many as we are, then I don't want to sound nihilist or something, but I don't really see hope in that. Hope unless we address this one equally, if we can address that one thing, especially equally understood, then obviously there is a lot of hope and great possibility. Obviously, there is a lot of hope and great possibility. that possibility will be then that possibility that possibility that possibility will then not relate to only climate change, related to climate change, but to everything that we do as human being. It will be lead to future. It will lead to future. Deeper. It will lead to richer. Lead richer. We will be able to live richer, deeper, more meaningful lives. Meaningful. Meaningful, more loving life, more loving living, lives of compassion, lives of compassion, lives of less strife, and live that have a certain live that have a certain fulfillment and live live and live that have a certain fulfillment. So that's a simple position. So that's a simple for the nutshell. In a nutshell, obviously we will be going to into the nuance of everything. But I thought, it would be better. But I thought it would be better to just put everything on the table right away. लेकिन सोचता हूँ, लेकिन मैं अच्छा लगता है, it would be better. ये अच्छा रहेगा, it would be ये अच्छा, it would be अच्छा रहेगा to just सिर्फ put डाले everything on table right away. कि अच्छा रहेगा सिर्फ हम सारी चीज़ें टेबल पर डालें, put it on the table right away. Causing speed energy causing means कारण 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 बनना कारण बनना causing कारण होना कारण उत्पन्न होना, कोजिंग, कारण उत्पन्न होना, उत्पन्न करना। फंडामेंटल, मौलिक, फंडामेंटल मीन्स मौलिक, मौलिक, मूलभूत, मूलभूत आधार, मूलभूत, मूलभूत, मूलभूत आधारभूत, मौलिक, मूलभूत आधारभूत, मूल आधारभूत, फंडामेंटल आधारभूत, सादे तौर पर भी कह सकते हैं आधारभूत, मूल रूप से, मतलब अगर कहा जाए तो ठोस, वह सभी, वह ठोस, वह सभी ठोस, representative, 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 represented, represent मतलब किसी को बतलाना, रिप्रेजेंट करना, किसी चीज़ को दिखाना, और प्रतिनिधित्व करना, किसी को दिखाना, प्रतिनिधित्व करना, मतलब प्रतिनिधि, रिप्रेजेंटेड का प्रतिनिधित्व किया, प्रतिनिधित्व किया, प्रतिनिधित्व करना, प्रतिनिधि होना, करना, करना, प्रतिनिधित्व करना, वन करना, वर्ण करना, और प्रतिनिधि होना, प्रतिनिधि होना, इनबिल्ट पहले से ही, अनिश्चित, कंजप्शन, 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 वो खपत, वो खपत, उपयोग, उपयोग करना, उसको ज़्यादा उपयोग करना, इंडिकेटर, सूचक, सूचक, सूचक है, सूचक का, निर्देशक, निर्देशक डायरेक्टर, डायरेक्टर, इंडिकेटर डायरेक्ट करता है, डायरेक्टर निर्देश करता सूचक काटा दो दो तक फुलफिलमेंट पूर्ति पूर्ति फुलफिलमेंट पूर्ति निर्वाह निर्वाह आदि तब ठीक है once life एक जिंदगी सबसे किसी एक का hardly hardly मुश्किल से मुश्किल से चिंता से मुश्किल से कठिनता से मुश्किल से कठिनता से मैं इसे फंक्शन फंक्शन प्रणाली फंक्शन इसका काम इसका कार्य इसका काम ठीक सो कृत्य काम कृत्य लगता है फंक्शन देखते कार्य फंक्शन कार्य इसका काम क्या है इसका काम क्या है इसका कृत्य क्या है स्पीसीज में इसको चाहिए प्रजातियाँ अनफॉर्चुनेटली दुर्भाग्य से असामान्य रूप से दुर्भाग्य से असामान्य रूप से दुर्भाग्य से दुर्भाग्य से irrespective irrespective निरपेक्ष निरपेक्ष मतलब बिना किसी पक्ष तक prithat prithat in a heart shaped shape बिना बिना अपेक्षा या किसी के किसी हवाला बिना अपेक्षा या किसी का हवाला किसी का हवाला अपेक्षा या किसी का हवाला वेरिएशन अलग अलग प्रांत दुकांत प्रकार प्रकार बदलाव एथनिसिटी जातियाँ जातियाँ all that we across the world दुनिया में हम जो कुछ भी दुनिया में जो
ये बोला था ये रहा इसके एक टूट गया रहा। अच्छा